I'm Kevin Coleman with the Sada Post, and I'm at the Ross County Courthouse with a pair who is helping to plan on restorations to the courthouse. Can you identify yourselves?
My name is Brian Kiggins, architect at Schooley Caldwell.
My name is Kalpa Baghasingh. I'm the project manager and principal at Schooley Caldwell.
And you just had a discussion with the commissioners. They had asked for estimates on, they originally said tightening the outside, but you took a pretty thorough look at it. What was your report?
Overall, the building is in good shape. We have both the courthouse and the archives building, which is the former sheriff's office and jail. Most of the courthouse is in good shape. There's some sandstone or dolomite, which is a limestone damage that should be repaired. The roofs are kind of at the end of their useful life, so we'd be replacing the roofing. Windows, there's a variety of windows from historic to modern aluminum windows. Anything that's historic we hope to restore, and a few of the modern aluminum windows, since they're back of the building, we will probably just leave those alone. A little bit of work on the doors, but again, they're in pretty good shape. Just a little cosmetic work, maybe taking some of the paneled transoms out and replacing them.
All right, before we were interrupted by my video camera, anyhow, you gave it a thorough look over, and you're proposing to do a restoration, improving the appearances, refreshing some of the modern materials, but still keeping the historic appearance.
Right.
So, what kind of budget are you looking at? I think the commissioners were hoping for like $4 million.
Yeah, the budget that we were given to start off with was $4 million. Looks like the way the costs are going, and to make an authentic historic restoration of the buildings, it is going to be about $5.5 million for the courthouse and $2 million for the archives building. This is construction cost, not including all the soft cost that goes along with it.
The planning,
like
design.
The plan and design, permitting, inspections, testing, that kind of stuff.
When you add all that together, it's about $8 million.
Yes.
Is our estimate.
Do you think the building's worth it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It would cost 1,000 times that to rebuild it.
Yes.
In this style, this character. You could do it, but it would not be cheap. You could tear it down and you could put up a modern building for 20 million, 10, 20 million maybe, but it wouldn't have the character and the historical value that this current building has.
We had a similar argument about a couple public schools, and we have nice modern buildings, but it's still not quite the same. Schooley Caldwell has a pretty good reputation for dealing with historic structures. What's your experience here in Chillicothe, your work that you've done here?
We did restore the Carlisle building right across the courthouse, catty corner from the courthouse. And what my experience has been is the community loves their buildings, they care for them, they're great stewards of them. And that's why when you drive into the city, you see all this beautiful character. It is a lot of the downtown is still intact, and we are very proud to say that we are involved in restoring some of those buildings here.
A lot of towns this size you drive into, and all the storefronts are covered in modern contemporary stuff. The upper floors are just completely blanked off with aluminum or some other modern material, and they're unused. You don't really see that here in Chillicothe. The old buildings are maintained, they've been renovated, they haven't been covered up, and they still have most of their original character.
I think you guys also designed the addition to the Majestic Theater. New lobby, provision for an elevator and such.
Yes.
And I've worked with, I'm familiar with your company. I met Bob Leversage a few times.
Yeah.
Is he retired?
Yes,
He's retired.
He's retired now.
He's done enough good with historic structures.
Yeah.
He still shows up at the office once
Still
in a while.
involved, still.
He's helping Katie with something, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
His daughter works for us.
Yeah.
He's helping her with something, but so he's still around.
So when will you be talking with the commissioners again, do you think?
We don't know yet. They have to make a decision about how they want to move forward. There are a few different ways we can do this project and still make it, bring it under budget. We can do only the courthouse, we can do only the archives, do a few things here and there, and try to do what we can based on priorities. So we are looking forward to hearing back from them, how they want to move forward.
I think one important thing you pointed out is that the building's in pretty good shape, but there are a few unsightly spots right at the most visible spot, like the
Right
base
at the
of the
entrance.
columns.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's not a structural issue, but it's still something that could really be improved.
It's a cosmetic issue. I don't see any structural issues, but it has an impact on the attitude of people that visit the courthouse. It's like, oh, they don't maintain this very well. Oh, it's falling apart, and they should do something about it. Whereas most of the rest of the building is in excellent condition. So it's just kind of ironic that the worst part is right in front where everybody sees it.
Which I think is visible in the photo behind you. The efflorescence, the water leakage.
Yep.
Leaking into the columns and bases.
Yeah, and you can tell there's been repairs in the recent past, but and some of those repairs are still good. It's the stone behind them or next to them that is now in terrible shape.
It's an art to deal with older materials and do it
For
right.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
but fortunately there still are people out there that know how to do it. You keep hearing about the lost skills, and people just don't know how to do that, and that may be true for some materials and such, but for a lot of these there's enough restoration around the state, around the country, that there's people that know how to do it. They don't always get the job. Sometimes someone who doesn't know how to do it, unfortunately, gets the job, and that gives everyone kind of a bad rap, but there's still skills out there.
So what kind of timeline do you anticipate if the commissioners make a decision soon? When would work start and hopefully finish?
I think we'll take about 4 to 5 months to finish design, work on it, and then bidding. Bidding will take about 4 to 6 weeks. And then construction, I am assuming it's going to take about a year. Construction.
Okay, and the sooner it's done, the less inflation will
Correct.
increase the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, any other thoughts?
Just, as I mentioned in the meeting, it's glad to see the folks around here take pride in their historic structures or historic infrastructure. Not everyone does that. And so, I commend the commissioners and the community for kind of coming forward. And it's a little more money than they had initially budgeted, but if they rally around the folks, maybe we can afford to do it all.
Well, I appreciate that as a architectural historian and preservationist and tour guide myself.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you.